I really don't like the word spirituality. I don't think it has a whole lot of meaning on its own. Now, at Sanctus and with the Sanctus Forum, we're interested in Western spirituality, which is what I prefer to call it. But when you sort of get into this area of spirituality in general, I don't think there's a whole lot that we can know for sure, probably because the word's not all that great and anybody can use it for whatever they want. But one thing I think we can know is that spiritualities offer people power of some sort. And it's not any different in Western spirituality where the central figure is Jesus. So if you're interested in Jesus' spirituality, the question that you start to ask is, well, what would it be like to become like Jesus? And with respect to power, it would be, would you like to become like Jesus in terms of power? Hey everybody, welcome to the Sanctus Forum. I am Michael Stewart Robb, better known as Mike, and we're doing the conspiracy commentaries here with this book, The Divine Conspiracy by Dallas Willard. And we just talk about it section by section, and we are starting a new larger section. There'll be 4 videos associated with that. The larger section is called In the Midst of Many Kingdoms. For me, it's on page 28, end of the first chapter. And the first section here is We Become Bearers of God's Rule at Hand. So I want you to notice here in the very first sentence, Dallas says, those who have been touched by forgiveness and new life and have thus entered into God's rule. That, if you want a theological word for that, is regeneration. Those are some of his phrases, biblical phrases for starting off in a relationship with Jesus, both as a historical person and as an eternal person. So just keep that in mind. And what he's going to do is he's going to move beyond that, and he's going to start to talk about something else that comes to be true of those people. And he says that they're going to be bearers of that rule. In other words, the rule isn't just going to be something that God or Jesus sort of holds on to. It's going to be something that comes into those people who have regeneration, forgiveness, new life, etc. And this is the power part of Jesus' spirituality, being a bearer of his rule, of God's rule. And there's really 2 things that I have to say about that. First of all, Dallas is going to get into it here, but the idea is that miracles of some sort or another are exhibit A of God's kingdom being present on earth with us now. Now, that doesn't mean that you should expect one every day, but it does mean that you should expect them. And one of the main ways in which you'll find that miracles happen is through prayer. So God is not really like a vending machine where if you put in the right amount of money, then you get out of it what you want. God is more like a person who you do have to talk to and who wants a relationship with you and will work with you on good things that you're interested in and that he's interested in and that he's interested in as well. And you get a word for that here on, for me, the next page, divine coaction. So divine coaction is not just something that's going to be true of Jesus, but something that's supposed to be true of Jesus, as he calls them, Jesus' trainees or apprentices. Dallas doesn't love the word disciple, and I don't love it either because what was the last time you met a disciple? The other thing is kind of a subtle point, and I think this is really interesting that Dallas notices this. See, when Jesus was around on earth as a living, walking human being, he grabs some of his students and he sends them out to do basically the sorts of things that he does. And they're supposed to heal people and cast out demons. Yeah, pretty high level stuff, you would think. But not everybody wanted it, which is interesting. And so when they leave places where they were kind of rejected, they were supposed to say, nevertheless, the kingdom of God is at hand. So in other words, it's not a matter of our decisions for it or against it, whether God's kingdom has actually come or not. See, the kingdom of God, that's what it means for the kingdom of God to be with us, for us to be bearers of the kingdom of God, is it means it just goes wherever we go. And I would say it goes wherever we go, whether miracles happen or not. Now, we may not know what it means for other people to be aware of the kingdom of God in our presence, but this is something that we, I suppose, trust is happening. And when we are rejected, when things don't turn out the way that we want to, when we aren't embraced the way that we would like to be embraced, then you just sort of, well, Jesus says, shake the dust off your feet. It just means, leave them be. The kingdom of God did come and meet them through you, and go on with your business. Well, that's what I've got for you today. If you like these videos, do like them. You can also retrospectively like videos. And this is subscriptions here are welcome on the YouTube channel and on podcasts if you're listening to that. There is a podcast if you don't know. Writing nice reviews if you think these are nice audio files. It's great. Helps. See you next time.